All right, attention co-streamers, Sentinels are taking this stage, and listen, they started at stage 2 with a win, and we finally got to see John Cutie playing Sentinel agents again, so all is well in Sin City.
Yeah. Do you think I can boot up a co-stream on my phone right now?
Sure.
The live co-stream,
we all start
the crowd.
because Sentinels are out there. Yeah, maybe. No, it's time to lock in. In theory, this should be Sen's easiest game of the stage. Weird things happen though when we say that kind of stuff.
Yes.
So you can't take your foot off the gas. At the same time, it should be quite a quick day, and if Furia don't make it a quick day, then there's something really interesting going on.
Right, that spoken like someone who made dinner plans. Looking at today's schedule, I like that for you. I like that for you. But Furia has something to say in the matter here. Of course, they had a tough stage 1. They made changes heading into the second one. Unfortunately, you won't get to see any of that, as they are still forced to play with a sub. The coach is not in the building either. But you know what? Pressure is off.
Yeah.
They might just surprise us.
I'm just going to say right now, you don't want to miss the 1% chance.
True.
That Furia step up.
Where were you?
Where were you when Furia beat Sentinels? Now, listen, this is a team, all the pressure's off their shoulders, they're a dangerous squad, and when you get into that mentality that this is supposed to be an easy win, when the first thing starts to go wrong, all I'm saying is that's when the tilt settles in.
Yeah, it could do. If you see Narrate slamming his desk after 3 rounds, oh baby, we got a game. 99% of VCT Americas viewers stop right before Furia gets their big upset victory. That's all I'm saying.
Well, let's take a look at where our teams are taking us for this one.
Okay, so Corrode at the end is interesting, but it's actually Icebox that's drawing my attention because of John. John, in the previous match that we saw, played Viper and then Cypher and then back to Viper. Here, it should be similar, but I don't know what he's going to play on Icebox. I don't know if he's going to pick up the main Senti role or whether that's going to be Zelsis. And so he could be playing Omen, he could be playing Initiator. That's quite an interesting map, actually, in terms of has John gone full Sentinel, like back to his previous role?
Is that the one that proves it?
Yeah, I think so, because if he comes out and he's playing like Killjoy or something, that kind of indicates that John is like now just full-time returning back to being the Sentinel IGL, which would be unusual, but something that a lot of Sen fans have been calling for over time.
But we're kicking things off on Sunset, so surely John Cutie is just going to be on the Viper.
I would assume so, yes. I think that a lot of teams are running double smokes compositions on this map, and there you can get some good value by lurking on the Viper. It's something that fits him, and it works with the meta right now.
Yeah. Slower pace game that's going to be played, I think, as well. And, I mean, honestly, map 2 for Icebox, it's nothing too interesting to pick apart there for Furia's pick, but I have to imagine from their perspective, it's a map that is tried and tested at this point for decades. The calling is going to be simplified as a result. Everyone roughly knows what they need to do.
And it's also like a gunfight map, too.
Yes, so it kind of just, you essentially need to be outgunned.
But we've also not seen a lot of them on Icebox, right? They played it last stage one singular time. They did lose it then as well.
Yeah, it's a map, though, that historically they've enjoyed picking. I know it's a very different roster, but I mean, I think they picked it in a couple of like off-season events or something too. It's an area where you could see a map victory happening if Sentinels fall over a little bit. And that's kind of like one of the big keys to victory here, genuinely, is that Sen have to be having a bad day and Furia have to be having a great day. So I think very early on you'll see what the form looks like and whether we've got a possibility happening here. Hello.
Okay.
All right, they're going double initiator for this one.
Yeah, a lot of setup util for Zekon and Neon, not double smokes.
No, I mean, to be honest with you, I thought they would be playing double smokes, but yeah, John picking up the Cypher. So does indicate that John is kind of back to playing a lot of his, classic Senti looks. He'll be getting lurks going, but to be honest with you, I mean, that's the Sage picks.
That's crazy work. I kind of mess with it, though. If you are Furia and you're trying to simplify your game plan, there's nothing better than a Sage wall that doesn't get broken in the mid-round to simplify where you need to play. So I kind of like it.
Okay, simplify your play, hope the opponent stumbles, or sacrifice a goat. One of these three things has to happen for Furia to take it. Let's hear what our casters have to say about this one. Uber and Wyatt on the mic.
Thank you very much, Zoe. Great to see Bren looking like a beacon of positivity here in the current year. You love to see that. We're back, of course, in the Riot Arena by express written request of Rob Moore to pad those Sentinels win stats potentially. However, Coach Kaplan Wyatt was not in the mood to give praise to the Sentinels team after that close shave last week. But Fury don't even have a coach to give them praise. In fact, I'm pretty sure, to my count, 14 different individuals have worn the Panther for Furia this year.
It is mental. And if you're just looking at any ranking right now, you are confronted by the team at the top of the list in SEN and Furia at the bottom, which to some extent I feel like does a bit of a disservice to the quality of some of the players on their team, the tenure and experience that they have. It's just that as a team, they have no experience together. It's only been a couple weeks, and Verso's subbing in. As good as he is, he's still a sub. But 2 weeks on in that interview pre-game, they felt like they've been proving this past week, improving, so maybe they can show that.
Strut up mid. Carlo waiting with a frenzy. It's going to be traded out instantly. Zekken trying to find that relay bolt and can at least get the spike carry to hand. John has thrust himself relatively deep here. Though when Heat almost got caught out on her timing. It's the Cyber Cage to give the Cypher a little bit of breathing room. And the recon will be respected.
And listen, though it's been a quiet year for Heat in 2025, it would feel wrong to count him out, given how great he was last year with Crew. It feels like a lot just due to the circumstances of this team. He hasn't been able to be at that same level.
Yeah, refer to the aforementioned 14 players in the jersey.
Difficult to...
To be fair, I am counting the All-American squad that we saw, you know, in their first game.
You want to stat pad this narrative, I respect it.
The numbers don't lie, my friend. There's a lot of threads of narrative in this game. We'll start to tuck into them in the next couple of rounds. Going to be seen here and attempted a retake. Whole line pretty well placed here. It's going to be a little uncomfortable. Verso going to be dragged out into the sunlight and hit hard. Still is able to retuck once more. Shock here at the site. Definitely not far off with a little double face scenario here, and he's going to have a look at it. The recon throw it out. That's a clean shot from Heat. Zelsis got into half at the very least here, and Verso going to fall to his hand, and now gives it another tickle. Heat wants a crack at it. But again, he's been here before. Not born yesterday. A three-piece for Heat as Furia get off to the start they would have hoped for.
Well done in that 2 versus 2. Another narrative I was ready to touch on there is the fact that the 2 players for SEN were John and Zelsis, who have just recently role swapped. Excuse me, they're playing the same comp, but they're on different agents. And Heat steps up early for the Furia team to get them at a nice advantage. Some good utility as well there from Adverso, which is causing some delay with the shocks, and then the recon comes in as well. Just something to distract, to swing off of.
Now, obviously, we're heading into a bit of a metagame where we see less of that double initiator look on some maps. But John said he liked calling from the initiator role during Toronto. Don't think it was Cope. He said he was able to be more involved, but a lot of fans were calling for the switch back to Sentinel. And see how it plays out already. Another thrust up mid by Sen. This time they're trying to get in grips with the opponents with those weaker guns. Parlo's able to find Narrow. Those speculating through the smoke and the flash that came in. It's Celsius and John QT trying to hold their ground. But Sen here for a good time, not a long time. And they'll send that round off with 2 guns dropped.
A reasonable bit of damage. Could have been more dangerous when Furio tried to push through that dark cover together to support everyone else in mid, but hey, all things considered, not too bad. They're still going to have 3 fully upgraded rifles coming into the first buy for Sen, an attempt to win a bonus, keep this momentum going as a team that are just purely in upset mode. I mean, they have no expectations here. They can just throw caution to the wind and send it at a Sentinels team that almost lost to a G2 that are kind of in a similar boat. Obviously not to the same extent, but coming in with a sub, they made it so close against Sen last week. They can't feel fully comfortable in how that game went down, narrowly escaping with victory.
I like them getting out on the strong foot though, Sen selecting this Sunset map, which if you remember, Toronto was definitely one of their best looks. They've been able to take a map off Fnatic on this very map here. 2 years tries the TP forward. That's a little telegraphed apparently. Sentinels now got a little bit of time to make their way through, and the wall has a hole plugged through it.
Will at least allow for the spike to go down. Paolo to push in very deep, dodges that initial flash, and does have a drone to play off of now. Does he want to scale even further forward? Yeah, he does. Will he check the corner?
Yeah, relay bolt, they're going to force him back. Zekken now wants to have a peek at it. Slides on across, and Arango goes down. The poison orb going to bloom, and there was a Prowler catching on to Paolo. He's got his back turned at the wrong time. Not ideal at all, and he's stuck there, almost knifed down. He'll get his 6 before departing the round with honor. Sen got the guns, and they got on the board.
Great retake, just playing to the advantage that they've gotten. That's exactly what you want to do when you have the Cypher on that site. Zekken's able to get that 1 kill. We go out, cool, they get the spike down. Who cares? Just time for the 5-on-4 full retake when the Sage Wall expires over to its market.
Lovely movement. I mean, the level of play we're getting out of Zekken recently has been phenomenal.
It's insane.
This Neon, averaging 0.99 kills per round. This season, really playing some of his best Valorant.
That's since Toronto till now. over the course of 200 rounds as well. A global tournament and into this stage, basically a kill per round, 280 ACS. Average is mental. I mean, you could argue or just flat out say that Zekin is in the best form over these last couple months that he's ever been in, period. And I would not be mad at that.
Of course, there's still some elements to this Sen squad that needs to settle. That mild role swap, seeing Zelsis on the breach this map, maybe not what we would have expected. Look at Fury though. Already up on B, got a lot of free room, but this is Sen playing mostly off-site. Parla knows John is waiting, and look at him try and find the timing here. Looking across behind that cyber cage, and he gets away with it, refreshes it, and he'll bang the wall out too.
Zekin still backside. It's feeling like a bit of a rinse and repeat. Escapes, and now it's time for the 5-on-4 retake. Could even use that overdrive to get back in if he really wants to.
Sentinel getting grouped up here now by Boba. Might just want to explode. Zelsa still with all of that util to hand, so a pretty strong retake setup. Furia have to wait with bated breath as Parla on the front lines here. Sees fault line, Parla steps aside of it. Caught out though by that Prowler now. It's all getting thrown out of too much util. With his double initiator composition, here comes the overdrive. Zekin looks to light him up. And now Heat, once again, last man up. Zelsis will handle him. And it's an even game.
And this comp so far for Fury is working just as far as getting into the site, getting the spike down, but with Zekin able to net that initial opening kill twice in a row now, 2 rounds in a row, and then just retreats, they group up. I think you mentioned it, but the utility to get back in, to deny Paula, who's playing forward, who wants to be able to find an early kill so it can just be an honest 4-on-4, denied that. Flashed, the haunt coming through as well.
I'm not even playing, I'm just on my camera.
Yeah, welcome back to Cypher Duty, brother. The flash disparity between these comps is quite staggering, right? Fury wants to take the site, then play around that stall util, but if Sen don't respect it, or they take that Sage wall down and have a sort of pinch flood onto a site, it overwhelms Fury so quickly.
And it really looks like they want to just go ahead and go into B and put a wall towards market yet again. And they have come in dead set on a game plan.
Yeah, just the one flavor from Furia so far in his attack sides, but this time opting not to walk up on the B side. It's been free with John tucked closer to market. This time, though, he was sat back B. So good call, even if it was just a feeling for Furia. Instead, smoke top mid. They're going to take that part of the map here.
And they do have a couple decent ultimates that could maybe turn the tide on this round, unless Zekin is able to just get a 3rd opener in a row, and that's going to be the case.
Could have had more, but Relay Bolt here is going to allow him to retreat. Wall thrown up inside market. And here come Fury, eventually going to have a crack at this now. Caught out by the cam as once more, John living his best life, his big brother. Playing in and on the site. Got a trip here to work with Zekin. Up front, personal. Finds plenty of purchase there with the shorty. And the rest of the boys chime on in. These have been clean defense rounds, 3 in a row.
It just feels like he's stat padding at this point.
Are we all, Wyatt?
He's at a nice little 11-5.
Today's a stat padder's paradise, you know?
First bloods in a row. Picks up the outlaw in the perfect round to use it.
Be glad for 2 in the chamber there, big son.
Underrated shotgun as well, I'll be honest.
11 and 5.
Underrated.
Yeah, pretty well above our 0.99 kills per round here is Zekin so far. 5 rounds in, 11 kills to his name. Halfway to yet another overdrive. It's going to be a nightfall here for Narrate. A decent amount for Fury to bank on though. If they get a post plant with a Viper's Pit, at least somewhere to build off.
And Adversa, if he can in some way just get 1 more orb this round, would have a Hunter's Fury late. So they certainly have enough tools in the box to try and squeak out a round win. Things have been pretty dismal on the prior 3. This time opting to work towards mid, whereas Elsis has just been jiggle peeking. Obviously is aware of this noise, pulling out caught and stunned. He is cooked.
Fault line there for Zekin. Now it's time for him to come forward. Yapala caught inside the relay vault. Not a darn thing you could do about it. Hasty TP back towards mid by 2 years, and now we need to see a pivot from Furia. Eyes over in the A direction as he is paving the way. It's too easy for back.
There's no way he tried to get that kill. That's just...
Yeah, I don't think he expects to see Adverso there. That is pretty wild. Thinks he can just double up, I think, on that individual. They're doing the most right now, Sen. Very comfortably guarding the extremities of the map. And Rango, of Galori's fame there in Tier 2. We saw him
30 seconds left.
close to ascending last year. A very stable, pretty collected caller in the tier 2 scene. Got a big job on his hands today up against a monster like Sen.
With a new team, with subs, with no coach right now, that is...
Without Sato just to point at people and say go kill.
Yeah, that is a lot of pressure on the boy. But at least this Furia team do have some experienced players. That is a certainty. In this round, though, it's just really the Sentinel setups working exactly as they drew them up. That trap placed in top mid off of the trip was perfect. You could see Paula trying to get forward, but denied. He's had a rough go of it so far, and it's not really his fault. It's that Sen are just overwhelming him with util.
That is scripted, brother. All right, timeout here for Furia. Timely one of that. Something that I sort of noticed in Furia's debut game against Cloud9. First of all, their inability to really shut down Oxy. He was really running it down on them, playing very brazen. Zekken is the kind of player that maybe without the same level of risk-taking will also do the same thing. Move up and take that space. We saw a lot of that from Sen's Corrode against G2, that aggressive mid take. Orango was being punished a lot on that Haven map. He was the one sat inside Garage, was always looking to take these fights, always throwing caution to the wind. Maybe it's a flavor he brings from his home region in terms of his play style, but he was getting played off of pretty comfortably. G2 really tuned into his aggressive tendencies. A slower start for Orango here as well, but 5 ultimates in the bank. Hunter's Fury most notably, alongside that overdrive, a good round for Parla to try and get into the game and assert himself.
This could even end up being a round where maybe they just, at some point, they want to go back into doing what they were executing on B. They were getting the site, but this time you have a crazy amount of tools to just win out in the post plant, no matter how good Sen actually are at retaking. We'll see what the game plan is, though.
Sen always seem to have a bevy of retake at their disposal in terms of util. Also a Nightfall still being held onto by Narrate.
Peek immediately into B main here from Zekken on the close angle. Had an opportunity, but obviously that would have required some pretty insane reactions. Not always able to get that kind of shot consistently, so Zekken falls back. More passive, the team is grouping up. They do want to go for this B side execute.
Every round there's been a slight shuffle of Zekken and John here over at the B side. This time, John able to watch with that cam, which looks into market and into main. And Zekken will simply wait. Slower approach for Furia. They know they've got a lot to work with. Here comes the overdrive. John tucked here. Nightfall comes out in response. And okay, Parla streams on past him. He's able to take the Cypher out of the game. Zekken will give up the site. He knows there's a ton to work with in terms of getting back in.
Luckily for Furia, no one actually going down from that haunt. Sen, wow, they're going fast. They're already in backside.
Oh, he might have been seized in that aftershock. Timing didn't quite pay off there, though, for Zekken as he tried to come forward. Parla's got 3 for the round. Viper's Pit in the post plant. Player advantage to work with for Furia. Narrate's already found his second in this round. And the other edge of the Viper's Pit, Bang is starting to encroach upon. Prowler leads the way. Bang gets in there. Good conversion. Unreal. He just serves his diver on a platter, and Bang will knock some heads together. Consolation maybe that Fury doesn't overextend in terms of ultimates in that round. But perhaps they'd be advised to bring a bit more into the post plant.
That is a truly brutal round to lose. Should be unlosable, feels unlosable. Paula did so much there. John tucked in that corner was a position he had played prior, and look at Paula just immediately stunning it, was expecting that it could be there again, was correct. Free opening, Sen's repush denied. And it's all for naught. A 3-piece that just ultimately can't get a round win, but they're fast now into this A site, teleport in from 2Es.
Narrate getting tagged up by the Hunter's Fury, he will fall, but not before Parla is dealt with. Aggressive thrust by Furia onto this A site, but they are cut down to 4.
Single dark cover place. Bang wants to teleport back to the rest of the team in main. Play an honest 4-on-4 retake kit out of dodge. And they've got a bit of utility to get back in. But it's perhaps awkward that Zekken just has, well, I was going to say the op, but he throws it over to Celsius, picks up the rifle, and immediately kills someone. All good.
He's been looking dynamic indeed with the Phantom, but here we go, straight onto the side, sliding on through is Zekken, gets himself in box. Verso has Orango deal with the threat for him. Now, no, please don't do it like this, Jordan! If you've ever wanted to know what it felt like to be a fly on the wall to the extinction of the dinosaurs, well, you're welcome.
They are
This is not a
just
fair fight.
getting away with everything. Another round where Furia find the advantage, and it falls apart, man. You just hate to see that happen. This time Arango, what a shot to deny Zekin on this slide out with the overdrive. That was a sickening snap, but
Well, we know.
this doesn't matter.
Just the pure tempo that Senna playing with these retakes, that's around. Well, they are pretty light on that flash and stun util, right? Celsius is down to just one flash. They still get the job done.
It was a cool hit from Furia as well. Really fast. Tuiz just sends that from the shadows to get tucked onto the A site. The rest of the team trying to play off that position was a cool idea, but now they're reduced to a pretty bad buy in this round 9. The dark cover, or cloud rather, drops. Bang. Able to stay alive, jumping around the corner.
Straight away sees Paranoia, Sen able to fall safely back off those lines, but narrates left tucked here. Gets his one now, surely Bang's gonna get involved, but he might not be needed. Harley gets his pound of flex, but Bang asks for more. Sen advantage here in players, but locally, Furia have the numbers if they act quick.
That whole time, I was just waiting to see what Celsius was going to do. Could have even potentially ripped that Rolling Thunder, and the round might have been done in that moment. Paulo's ready for this flank. He expects John to be somewhere.
John doesn't have to do anything but contain them right now. Like Furia, disrespect the cyber cage, double swing that and break out of what could have been a containment play.
Paulo's fast into market right now, breaks the cam, is caught by the trip, and whoa, I mean, I don't know where that occurred.
That is top mid with an operator. Just as he is trying to pass by. And now it's down to Parla, 52 health and a dream. Sees the knock-in first of Zekin. But that plant looks like it's a mere fantasy at this point. 3 on the round for Parla, spotted out by Zelsis. And that is a 5-round lead it's open up.
Sen have some really good little trap setups going right now. That time in A main, Zelsis coming back through with the utility, had the stun. I mean, also that crossfire just immediately gets 2 kills before any of the util was really thrown out. And there he gets that first. Arango outpaces the relay bull just a half second, which is a little unfortunate, but you know, even still, so much counter util was going to come back through from the Sentinels initiators. They're just set up so well in all these situations.
Okay, fast lane here over towards the A side of the map. Credit to Furia, still go with the up-tempo look even after some crushing rounds. But eventually, something's got to give. Parla just eats that one. Second has enough time to line him up and fast lane himself out of elbow.
Wants to reposition with the AWP. Wouldn't be surprised if he just gets right back
Just
on
repost the
a
line.
similar line. Just why not repost?
There is a lurk up. Well, there's a play up mid, but there's a trap wire in the way. Here comes Inverso, flattened. Okay, Narrator almost had that one for free. Now, the res, Arango to protect Inverso. No intervention attempt there from Sentinels, and Heat has finally gotten to top mid. But will have to give himself away to cross this threshold.
He is so hungry to take the fight, but forced to break the trip, and Bang is able to turn in time to deal with him.
Credit though, because there was an out drone that Bang had to deal with at the same time. He prioritizes correctly. And yep, neural theft here should lay the plans of Furia bare for Sentinels. There is a spike in the very middle of the map. So the defenders simply play to the edges and wait for Furia to walk into the trap.
30
Double
seconds
stacked
left.
up here. Less than 30 seconds. This should be it.
Enemy remaining.
Okay, and there it is. The trades favor Sen City. 8-2. And again, looks like they're ready for everything that Furia are trying to throw at them. Furia have the tempo. They're playing with some pace at the start of the round, but they're being bombarded with a lot of this util that is bringing them to a standstill.
I mean, ultimately, we don't really know which maps Furia have been able to put the most time into, what they've wanted to put the most time into. This could be one where they feel like they kind of have a cheese comp that looks like a Genji Paper Rex love child approach on Sunset that they're just throwing at them to see what happens. And can't blame them for it, but maybe their odds will be a bit better when we get to Icebox, which is their actual pick, because this has just always been the home of Sen. Since the Zelsis John Cutie iteration of this team began, this has always been a go-to map.
Parla knows he has to get creative to try and dig Zekin out.
He's too good.
Nothing in the playbook for that!
He's too good. I mean, he's just too good.
I reiterate.
What can you do?
Refer to my previous example. Orango there popped himself up on a wall, tried to boost into Kiosk. That was seen clean through by John. Nothing Fury is able to throw at Sen. Resembles anything novel. Feels like Sen have already seen this before. And that spike is far too deep into enemy territory for Fury to really make a gambit for it. Not much to hold on to save either, though.
Where are we trying to go? What is the move right now? Just get an orb, perhaps?
Yeah, maybe also just trying to maybe collapse on a loose end player.
Yeah.
Try and double face, get a rifle.
Get a gun for Adverso? Something along those lines? I mean,
yeah. For our audio listeners, I'm shrugging frequently. Okay. Sen somehow always have a double face set up on every possible angle, but the net might have been slipped. There's a trap wire in the way, though, for Furia. Well, why they're going to get the
10
spike.
seconds left.
that's
So
good.
there's that. But the timing resembles more of like a Cloud9 attack side round from last week, if you know what I mean.
You can't be doing that to them. Come over. You can't be doing that.
All
They're
right.
not even in the building.
Yeah.
They can't even respond.
I'm sure they're listening.
Nothing will be saved after this.
Okay. Pretty stately round here for Sentinels. We are up to 9-2 heading into the last round of the half. The Sentinels are sitting on a pretty impressive package for retake. But right now, we haven't even got to that phase of the game. Look at this.
It's too good. It's just, what can you do?
Oh my god. Oh my god.
That's fine. It's not like everybody saw that on the stream in slow-mo. Don't worry about it, Jordan. Okay, so smoke top mid here for Furia. Again, going to look to take this space up, and Parla will maybe look to open something up top mid.
This is Bang opting for a very weird off angle that I don't believe he's used yet. And Narrate catches Paula on the overdrive. There's no one really from Furia able to support. They are now all caught in the Nightfall, trying to go through Market. All of center at B. It's just, it's so cooked.
Now, here comes that interrupting util. Big rolling thunder catches on to the players. Adverso able to shrug it off, or at least unaffected by it for the most part. Orango has an opening to heal himself back up. Even in numbers, but Sen are in this site.
John just going a little bit too fast, but Narrate does pick off Adverso. They knew he was tucked in that corner.
I mean, Sen are just looking to fight here. There's no plan, there's no reason really to go forward, but they just want to get this one over with, and so they do. A commanding first half. Pretty lighthearted out there. Spirits seem to be soaring in Sen City.
This is a good day to show up to the Riot Games Arena if you're a Sentinels fan and you want to see your favorite team win. An ideal day to get tickets.
Yes.
They're looking pretty solid, and this is one of their best maps in the pool, showing exactly why they made that look absolutely effortless.
Yeah, we definitely descended into the fan service arc of the Sentinels anime right here at halftime. But you know what? I am here for a quick break. We'll be back, of course, with more of Sunset.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Well, it was a pistol take for Furia at the start of this Sunset map, but I mean, if you've been watching Sentinels here on Sunset recently, you know they always bring the heat. And unfortunately for Furia, That guy's not been firing. It's been a tough start. Furia gets some early site control. But so often, Second was on the site, gets a free pick, falls off, and then there is just a absolute bevy of retake util. And Fury are shell-shocked and flattened by Sentinels in a matter of seconds.
I will say we've seen some solid breach util coming out of Zelsis on the return to breach on this map. So that was pretty cool, though, honestly. Wish this role swap was getting tested a little bit more, because it's been speculated since John picked up the Initiator in the offseason as to how good they would be if they had swapped back if you were playing on the Sentinel role again. And maybe we'll get a better look on this attack side as we
John went into so much detail about why he liked playing Initiator as a caller. So, seen a switch back there, and he seems happy enough as it is. I'm sure the fans aren't complaining.
SEN are going to silently take a lot of space towards elbow, where 2Weez peeks out. Certainly could have gone down there and feels the need to let that paranoia loose to get completely to safety. The rest of the team grouping up with him. Do they go for an aggressive reclear?
I don't hate this. SEN kind of sniff it out. They get ahead of it. They might not get a sound cue to indicate this. Fury don't want to push any further than the extremities of that A side.
Shadows traveling.
In the meantime, these guys in B main have been staring at a wall for the past many seconds. SEN are now, as the wall going to break.
Which up here, Orango's already used that wall. Wyatt, he used it inside B main off the rip. That's not available to him right now. Looks like he doesn't have any other stall method. Narrate accosts him. Now, Furia, caught outside the site. They're not one that really boasts the retake util that Sentinels has.
Now Recon comes close. Zekin is tucked to do a nice position here to swing off of Bang, who's a little piece of bait right now. Crossfire in main as well.
Bang's gonna have his hands full here. Zekin trades well and completes the 2K. 3 up here for the retake for Sentinels. They will be waiting off this surely. John on the line. Parla second guesses himself and is punished. And 2 years, with all his experience, could not stop the Fury boat from capsizing. And they might have won the first pistol, but it's going to be a brutal bounce back from that round.
There are just so many little layers of moments from SEN in that post plant that just illustrate why they're so good. From the setup that you see with Bang and Zekin here backside, where Bang is pushed out a little bit further. He's going to be bait for Zekin to then swing out, get the trades, and they're crossfired with Zelsis, John in main. And then they have the reflank from Narrate and Market. Then late in the round, combos a haunt with the stun that Zelsis has. There's so much going on from them that Furia cannot deal with it. It's too overwhelming. Heat feels like, I was going to say, would be out of the round, but we'll at least get back up to full HP. No armor, though.
What a used case for the Sage Shield, though, really. It's getting much better than that. On the side we go. Prowler over towards Market, and Orango is brought down through the smoke.
You can see this Viper wall from the defensive side is used to split the site in two so they can get back into the back site safely.
Spike planted.
Zelsis here expecting this push to come in, trying to preempt Heat, who's stuck behind the box. He gets out, but again, at a cost of a lot of health. He's taken what? 160 damage this round? More where that came from, apparently. Parla with a swing. Only finds his one, but they'll have to do. 2 years there. Able to catch them out. Narrate has to step up, but oh, it could have been ugly. Down to John. Bulldog to work with it. Verso not to half yet. Gotta be quick on the trigger finger. And Verso Stinger sings out.
You really saw, actually, in that round, just the value of the Viper wall that I was pointing out. Sentinels were never able to do much back sight, so Furia get all of that space for free, and then they can execute forward center, really then grouped up too heavily. So on default, they're overwhelmed by these Stingers, other SMGs close range. Furia are able to convert around after a long drought. They're back in the game, barely. Barely, but they've got a third round, Mitch. They got a third round.
Yeah, long climb from here, but the Outlaw was recovered.
More opportunity for Zekin to stat form.
Well, hero rifle for the man himself. Might be a fast hit over towards the A side. Fault line would shake Adverso loose of that line, but there's 2 players lying in wait in elbow for Furia. Can they play? They can't get a crossfire for the time being. Adverso has to repost here. He doesn't really have the window to do so. Now SEN, barring a late swing from Adverso, could all face this together, and there he is. My goodness, hero rifle does work. Adverso, though, still able to extract his kill.
Gotta go.
That rifle's still at large, and Zekin still chomping at the bit to get involved.
Sen would love to go through elbow to recover that outlaw as well. Furia know that, so they're stacked up 2 players.
ATP across, just as the head was turned, and Verso has to lock it down. Nicely done. Little 4-piece for Adverso. Stops that swaying here for Furia. That's 2 rounds already in the half.
Gets himself a Hunter's Fury off of that as well. That was good understanding of the situation from Furia. Making sure to get a couple players just open facing towards where that outlaw was, expecting Sen to want to go push through elbow, recover that. And they crushed them. Not too bad from the Brazilian side so far on defense, but something of an uphill climb.
Yeah, 22,
to say the least.
22 kills from 16 rounds here for Zekin. Now it's a full cohort of rifles. And it's a slide for Parla, cut short, and now 2 years found himself in an awkward spot, but committed to it just as well. Zekin ran face first into the hail.
He is hungry for that trade onto 2Es. Too much so. The rest of the team denied any forward position by that Hunter's Fury. 2Es is just so aggro right now. Oh, that is so messy. Oh, it's crumbled and the setup was so good. Why has it crumbled?
I mean, Adverso was Aldroning from the other side. I don't think he was actually set up to swing with them at all. So a little staggered. That timing for Fury, and their A-hold falls apart.
Now that being said, Sen have 2 very low HP players, and he and Orango have both made their way to Link rather quickly. So there could be an opportunity to take some fights against low HP players while the spike is being planted, maybe. That could be an opportunity.
Sen hoping to apply something with this noise cut, but in reality, they're just waiting for that poison orb to dissipate.
30 seconds.
They'll confirm their presence here. Fault line catches Orango, who won't be able to swing off this. It's up to Heat now. Zelsis emerges from the poison orb, drops the spike. It's John. It's John again.
Spike down.
3 in the round for the Mastermind. He still brings a keen edge. Moving back to Sentinel.
And just on top of everything else, Sen have also been so clutch in this game. There were maybe like 2 1v1s I think that Furia won out, but multiple moments where someone on Sen is doing something like that. A little snap in the 1v2 to get the second player is crazy. I think Hubert is safe today.
Yes, I think he's
Won't
okay.
be strangled like Bart Simpson by Kaplan. He's safe.
As always, next week. Parlo had to get away from the fault line, but maybe finding things approaching him quicker than he would have liked. A Rolling Thunder clears the way, and Sentinels are ahead of the curve. Onto the side they go. Trap set up. Parlo at least is able to extract Bang. Should make it a little bit easier to get back into the side post-plant.
Let's get some valuable info. Narrate is ready to send out this ultimate to close this game.
Flash as well. I mean, Zekin wanted a bit of the action, but it's all Zelsis right now. Parlo and Adverso dashed aside. And a stately walk in the park it feels for Sentinels here on Sunset. Their map pick.
Second, stat one to close things out.
You know what? I am here for it. Good start. We'll call that an easing into the series here for Sentinels. Look to pick their strongest map straight off the bat, get out to an early lead, and inflict some psychological damage along the way.
Good day to be a Sen fan. Good day to be a Sen fan in the arena. Show up for a nice little clean victory. Zekin finishes with, oh man, he couldn't even get 400 ACS. He only got 399. Come on, bro.
Run it back. Honestly, I'd call that a little bit of a wash. Happy with that, I'm sure Sentinels fans are here.